wonderful morning to one and all present here. How are you all? I hope you all are fit, fine, and healthy. We are back with English subject, and today we are going to continue with the lesson Videsiya Babu. Okay, I hope you all remember the story of Videsiya Babu. It's an excellent story. We have repeated it many times. It is just we'll give a short review of the story that this story is about Bidesiya Babu and his fantastic invention. He was living in a village where he was inventing. He was a part-time geologist in the government survey office, and on the Sundays he used to work as an amateur inventor and homeopathic doctor. So he had invented uh, a box, Upstart Finder, its name was. It could start wiggling when it finds any problem coming around. And the second, uh, is shiny revolver. That revolver he invented just as to it included a microscopic super amplifier which made sound as if hundreds of lions roaring at the same time. This is used to let the tiger run away from them, and this could prevent them from the tiger attacks, and this can also done without harming the tigers, as we all know that the number of tigers are decreasing day by day, and it is like on the verge of extinction. So it is a wonderful invention done by Bidesiya Babu. Moving, we have already discussed reading 1, reading 2. Along with that, we have discussed vocabulary, prefix and suffix in our previous video. We also discussed the grammar part, that is modals. Today we'll understand what are 9 modal verbs in English which are called pure modals. Okay, pure modals. First is can. Second is could. Third may. Fourth might. Fifth must. Sixth shall. Seventh should. Eighth will. And ninth is would. So what are modals? What are modal verbs? The words used to fill the words which I spoke right now, they are auxiliaries or helping verbs and are also called modal verbs. They are also called helping verbs because they are not complete in themselves and they have to be used with another verb called the main verb. So I repeat, what are the main verb, that is which are the 9 verbs, modal verbs which are called pure modals. First is can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will and would. So these are the pure modals. Can is used to express ability, permission, possibility and request. Could is used to express ability, permission, possibility, request and suggestion too. May refers to express permission, probability, request. So may expresses permission, probability and request. Might express is used to express possibility, probability and suggestion. Must to express deduction, necessity, obligation, prohibition. Shall is used to express decision, future, offer, question, suggestion. Should is used to express advice, necessity, prediction and recommendations, while will is used to express decision, future intention, offer, prediction, promise and suggestions. Would is used to express condition, habit, invitation, permission, preference, request, question, suggestion. The all modal verbs except may and might have a negative contraction. So you cannot say mayn't or mightn't. Okay. So may and might. I'll show you how. See, may cannot be used negative contraction. We cannot write mayn't. Okay, it is a wrong word. We cannot write like this. We can also not write might We cannot write like this. Okay, this is also wrong. Can, we cannot, we can write can't. Okay, right? For can, we can write can't. It's the correct one. So all can, can't, could, couldn't, may, mayn't cannot be there, might, mightn't cannot be there, must, mustn't, shall, shall not, should not, will not, wouldn't. So these are called negative contractions, which can be used for these modal verbs. So with the help of these pure models, now let us start with the activity. Before that, remember that with the modal verbs, often more than one possibility exists. For example, so doctor to patient, you can walk quite well now. So can expresses ability. Father to son, you can go out with your friends this evening. Now can expresses permission. You can go out. So the father is giving advice, permission to his son. While in the first sentence, doctor is giving ability that you can walk now. So you have the ability now to walk. If the main store was shut, you could or might have gone to the shop round the corner. Both could and might here express a suggestion. So here underline the correct modal verb in each set of brackets. Then choose the functions they have from the box below and write them down next to the sentence. Let's start. Tara, this is on the page number 126 of your course book. Tara says, "Hi Jen, should or could? Should I take a tour of the house before we move in or could I?" So it is asking for permission. So that is why we use could. So Tara says, "Hi Jen, could I take a tour of the house before we move in?" Asking for permission. Jen says, "Sure." Again Tara says, "Ah, this looks nice, but I'm not sure yellow is going to go well with the curtains I have already brought." Jen, we could change the color if you want. So here it is giving offer. Yes, you could change. Tara says, "Thank you so much. Would you mind getting this tap fixed?" So it is a request. Would you mind? Jen, no, not at all. We are yet to sign off the plumbers. Tara says, "Okay, may I see the draft of the agreement?" So here may is used for permission. Jen says, "Yes, but before that, would you like some tea?" So would you like, so would is used for the offer. Tara says, "No, but thanks so much. I am awfully late for the meeting." Jen says, "Here's your contract. I can mail a copy of this to you." So here can is used for ability. Tara says, "Thank you so much." Jen, "I think I should phone a taxi for you." I should. Okay, suggestion. You should. You said you were getting late, Tara. That's so kind of you, Jane. So here you can see that a single model, okay, that one model can be used for more than one possibility exists for the usage. Okay. Now moving on to pronunciation part, that is on your page number 127. The letter C can be sound like k and C can be sound like s. Okay, this is very interesting and many of the kids get confused that whether it is C is sound like a s or C is sound like a k. Okay, C, s means like S and k means like K. Okay, that means let us take an example to understand this. Whether C sounds like k or C sounds like a s, like S. Okay, for example, when we ask can, okay, when we use the word can, can, okay, we speak like can, okay, we pronounce as a k, not s. But when we talk about exercise, you see it sound like a s. Exercise, we did not use it exercise. So this all many students get confused and they speak in a wrong way. So today we'll learn how to pronounce C in what way we can use it as k, and in what conditions we can use it as a s. So let us begin. It's an interesting topic. So now here are some words. First we'll discuss its rules, then it will be very helpful for you. The letter C pronounced as S means sir before the letters E, I and Y. So here here is the Guruchari, E, I and Y. Okay. Sorry. E, I and Y. So the letter C is pronounced as sir before the letters E, I and Y. Okay. For example, it is like this. So when after C there is E or I or Y, then we have to pronounce as a sir. So as a sir. In Hindi we can use this. We take an example. Okay. Exercise. Here you see that C is before I. The criteria is E, I and Y. If the C comes before C, before E, I and Y, then it is pronounced as sir. Okay, it is pronounced as S, sir. So, exercise, that is why we don't use exercise, we use exercise. Again, we can take example of Michael. Here it is given Michael. Okay, here C, after C there is H, E, I and Y. I भी नहीं है, E भी नहीं है, Y भी नहीं है. It is H. That is why we won't speak Michael, we'll speak Michael. It will pronounce as a K. C will be pronounced as a K. K. I'm talking Hindi. As a K. Okay. Now let us begin. Please remember this rule. Same with the letter G. We always say it is Monginese or it is Monginese. The G sounds like a G or G sounds like a J. G sounds like a G or sounds like a J. Okay, how does it sound like? So for G we can use D, the J. Okay, for example in gem, this is the J. And the same rule applies when the letter G can be the hard sound G as in good or the soft sound G. The letter G usually, I'm not saying every time, but usually has the hard sound G. That means G. Okay. It sounds like G. The changes to the soft J sound if it is a, so it will spoken like a J, like J. When G is before again I or E or Y. Okay, it will sound like a J, J for jug. J will sound like a J when the G is before I, E and Y. Clear? We will start. First is Michael. So it is like a K and it is like a S. So again Michael, you can see that after C we do not have IEU, that it will be spoken as K, Michael. Again country, after C we do not have IEU, we have O. So here it will be sounded like a K, country. Again cold, curb. Now again couch. Okay. Couple, computer. In all we do not have IEY. So here you can see it will not sound like a cyst. It will not sound like a kist. It will sound like a cyst. Cyst will sound like a sir. Why? Because after C we have Y. The same way in the exercise we discussed this. Faced, again we have E, so it won't sound like a faked. It will sound like a faced. Same way decent we have E after C. Dance we have E after C. Fencing we have I after C. Similarly, moving up to G word, again remember that will sound like a J, say jug. J for jug, J when excuse me, when there is E, I, Y after before G. Okay, let's begin. Here we have girl. Okay, will sound like a G only. Hard sound G. Good G. Won't like a jolt. Why? Because we do not have E, I, Y. So here we have I, but it is a we said that the letter G usually has the hard sound. This changes the sound if it is followed by E, I, Y. But again, there are exceptional words. So this girl is an exceptional word. Again, game. Here we have A. We don't have I, E, Y. Gate, Goa, gun, gap, garbage. Similarly, general. ये E है. After G we have E. The criteria is E हो, I हो या तो फिर Y हो. It will sound like a jo. Jo. Okay. Again, G E general, Germany, gym, giant, gypsy. So we all have after G we have I, E and Y. That is why this is sounded like a soft G. That is soft sound like a J. And G is a hard sound. J is a soft sound. Okay, that's all for today. Okay, that is the end of our lesson. Okay, we had an interesting exercise at the end. So I hope you understood all the exercises as well as the question answers of this lesson. So kindly write down in your notebook with neat and tidy handwriting, and those boxes which is given to you, grammar portion and pronunciation, you can do that in the textbook itself. So have a good day everyone.